Please take your seats quickly, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Hi guys, welcome to 1minutetennis.com. In today's session, I want to talk to you about watching the ball. Watching the ball seems like the simplest possible thing, but the technique that the professional players and the high-level athletes that play tennis use to watch the ball is totally different to the technique that most recreational players use. The biggest problem for most recreational players is they're trying too hard to watch the ball. I want to show you the techniques that the best players in the world use to watch the ball and to react to the ball much faster and earlier than most recreational players. And I want to show you some great progressions so that you can watch the ball like the pros, you'll make less mistakes, and you'll read the ball and react to the ball much faster. There are two different methods that the human eye will use to watch a moving object, and they're called fixed visual focus or variable visual focus. If I just bounce the ball here, if you look at my head now, I'm actually in fixed visual focus. I might be trying to watch the ball with great concentration, but I'm actually not watching it anywhere near my potential because I'm looking at the ground and the ball is coming in and out of focus. Now I'm going to lock my eyes on the variable, the ball, and move to variable visual focus. And when I do this, the ball is staying in focus and the rest of the world is going in and out of focus. When I'm in fixed visual focus, the ball is coming in and out of focus and the rest of the world is staying in focus. As I try and explain how to use these two different methods of focus, can we use the expression simply in focus or out of focus? Because when you're in fixed visual focus, the ball is out of focus. And when you're in variable visual focus, the ball is in focus. And we can only really focus on objects that are relatively close to us. So as I look at the beautiful view behind me, I can't really focus on one specific thing. I will see the whole panacea of what's ahead of me. But when an object is closer, I can choose whether to look at it with focus or without focus. If you just look at your hand now in front of you, you'll be able to see everything in a general focus, but without focus, or you'll be able to see the hand with great clarity and the rest of the background will be a blur. It will be out of focus. This means that when the opponent hits the ball, it's impossible to have focus on the ball. And so as the ball approaches and we're trying to concentrate very hard to actually see the ball, to watch the ball, then the time when it will change from out of focus to in focus becomes closer and closer to contact with the ball. This is a reflex. There's nothing you can do to stop it, but by focusing as hard as possible on the ball, it results in the change from out of focus to in focus being very, very close to contact. And when that change is happening in a fraction of a second, it's the worst focus that you will have. So when we hit a bad shot, the next time we're going to tell ourselves to watch the ball. We watch the ball harder with greater concentration, which brings the change from out of focus to in focus closer. So now we've mistimed the ball again. And what do we tell ourselves? Watch the ball. And the more we concentrate on the instruction to watch the ball, the bigger the problem becomes, because we're concentrating harder and harder on watch the ball, and so staying out of focus closer and closer to contact with the ball. And everybody watching this video will have had days like this where the timing seems so difficult, but you'll also have had days when the ball seems to be so big, when the ball seems to be slow, when hitting the middle seems to be so easy. Let me explain the process that you will have probably dropped onto when you had those great days, and by understanding it, we'll be able to actually apply it, and then I'm going to show you some great progressions that you can use to train yourself to watch the ball with focus. The process that I'm going to explain is how to consciously force yourself to watch the ball like the best players in the world. But once you've done this for a short while, because the results are so much better, your brain will do this automatically. So we do it manually at first, and then it becomes an instinct. As the ball approaches the bounce, then if you move your eyes for a fraction of a second away from the ball and to where the ball is going to bounce, only has to be a very small distance, then when the ball comes out of the bounce, you will instinctively be in focus. When something is thrown directly at you very quickly, then the eyes will see it with great clarity. And so when the ball is going into the bounce, if you've made that separation from being out of focus by for a fraction of a second turning your attention to the ground, then the ball will automatically be in focus. And so the process of watching the ball should be to watch the opponent to discover and react faster to what they're actually doing, and then watch the ball. And then as the ball comes to the ground, bring your attention to the ground where it's about to arrive, and now watch the ball and hit it, and then keep the head still. So it's a much more complicated process than watch the ball. If I simply watch the ball's coming, it's out of focus, I hit it, and my head comes up automatically. Here, we're watching the opponent, the ball, the bounce, and now the ball, and leave the head still. If this process isn't natural, and it won't be for 99% of the people watching this video, and I'm being optimistic, then we need to do some progressions to actually acquire the skill of watching the ball this way. The first thing I'm going to do is throw the ball in the air, and I'm going to catch it. Not so difficult. But as it's obvious where the ball is going to bounce, more or less, long before it arrives there, I'm going to look at the ball going up, but I'm not going to look at it going down. So the ball goes up, I look down, the ball arrives, and it's in my hand. If you try this now, try the two processes. Watch the ball going up and down, and now watch the ball going up, look to the ground, and see the ball. And you will see the ball with totally different focus when you have the second process rather than the first process. You will see it with focus instead of without focus. Here we have Elisa. She's visiting us in Italy all the way from Hong Kong. And what she is doing to force her to stop watching the ball in an out of focus fashion is she's hitting the ball and then bouncing a ball in her hand and then looking up and finding the ball. When she finds the ball so late, she's almost certainly going to find the ball in focus and therefore time the ball better, even though there's a distraction of bouncing the ball in between the strokes. But the human brain is very smart and it likes routines. So very quickly, it'll start to pick up the ball a little bit earlier so it's able to stay out of focus. But now Alicia is bouncing the ball twice. And by bouncing the ball twice, she now is too late to catch the ball out of focus and can only see it with real clarity in focus. Now, once Alyssa has practiced this and got familiar with the bouncing of the ball and seeing the ball in focus, she's then going to go to rally. And what she's going to do is make sure that she takes her eye off the ball as it approaches the bounce, looks to the ground where the ball is going to bounce, and then follows the ball with great focus and concentration. She'll not be able to avoid the ball being in focus because remember, this is a reflex, and a reflex is something that you cannot control, but we can manage it and manage it to our advantage by watching the opponent, watching the ball, seeing the ground, following the ball from the bounce, and the ball will be in focus. See here how our focus on the ball is 100% as she's looking towards the bounce and then following the ball naturally with great concentration and focus from the bounce. The ball will seem slower, but it's not that the ball's slower, it's that Alisa's mind has speeded up. She's got more data and clearer information. If you like this or any other of our ideas, check out our online services. I'm helping people with online coaching from all over the world of all ages and all levels. It's a unique service of personalized video analysis and then one-to-one personalized lessons and one-to-one coaching. Or check out our books on Amazon. The book breaks the game down into great detail with the biomechanics and science of the strokes and then really simple illustrated solutions. For more information on either, check out the website or email me. So stop telling yourself to watch the ball. Stop watching the ball out of focus. Start reading the ball from your opponent and then watch the ball towards the bounce. Then look from the bounce to the contact and you'll see the ball in focus. You'll see the ball with a clarity that you've never seen before. Thanks for watching and see you next time for more unique tennis lessons that really work.